And on the top menu, this is what Valerie was referring to, right? If you click on network, and this will bring us to the network page, and you can kind of see, these are all the different people already created a profile. So this is our SIBA network. So you should have your profile here. That's how we can find you, right? So if I want to, for example, if I want to look for somebody in Houston or Vegas, let's say Houston, uh, I can type in Houston there, and these are all the folks. Well, I think there's no Houston. All right, so these are all the folks in Houston, right? Including our own Valerie is here, right? So if you want to connect with Valerie, just click on the profile, and you can read about her and what she does, and also you can look at her phone number right there, and also send her an email directly through the system, right? And she will get an email saying she has a new message from ROI-Muse network. This is how we can all stay connected, right? So we provide you with the resources that you can get business, right? So people are looking for, if you are, whatever you do, put it in here, right? So you can search for, people can search for it. I don't know if we have any mortgage guys here. Let me see if I'm searching for a mortgage person. Yeah, we have a couple of people here that has put themselves with mortgage, right? So Henry was one of our speakers not too long ago, and David was one of my first coaching students. He's a loan officer as well. So this is how we find, whenever people ask me that, hey, I'm looking for somebody, let's say in Florida, right? Or Miami, Florida, and can you refer me to somebody? We look at, who do we know, right? And who do we know is here, right? You just come here and search for Miami, Florida, and then whoever pops up, you'll get a call, right? About, hey, this is, we have a client who's looking for somebody to help them with something in Florida, so this is why it's so valuable for you to put your profile in here, right? So that way we can all easily find each other. All right, so enough about that. Then the other thing is, if you go back to ROI-Muse homepage, there is a video. You can see there's a videos portal here. So if you go to the video, we have tons of videos here. So this is one place that we put all of our videos. So this is Valerie's class from last week, or not last week, a few weeks ago. Brian's class from last week is here. Ivan and Henry and Kay Keeley, and these are all our SIBA speakers, right? So so we have Angel. Everybody's and we are only putting the events that have a presentation component here. For everything else, we are sending the replay out to everybody, right? So you get an email with the full replay of the event as well. But we encourage you to come here. The part of being here is networking, right? So we want everybody to be here so we can all network, because we can't do a networking group if you guys are not here. So that's one place you can do. And also, if you want to find us on YouTube, if you rather use YouTube, just go to youtube.com/SIBA member, and you can see the videos are here as well. So so we have all of our SIBA videos are here. We are still, this site is still being, this channel is still being built out. So we'll have let's say by middle of this year, we'll have a lot more videos here. All right, so let's get to the topic today. So today we're going to talk about how do we do a quick analysis using Excel, right? So that's kind of what I'm going to do that. So for that, let me go find a sample file. Go into ROI-Muse. Actually, we'll go into coaching, leverage plus coaching, templates. All right, so this is a sample rent roll, right? So so we have the unit number, unit type, square footage of the unit, tenant name, and status of the unit. It's vacant or occupied. Lease start date, lease end date, and rent. Right? So we can easily filter by the unit type here, and let's say 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Kind of eyeball and see, hey, what is the rents look like? It looks like average about 1,000 or 1,100, some of them. So you can see there's a range of rent here. But what I want to talk about today is how to use what we want to do is we want this is more, you can do a lot of detailed analysis of the rent roll, but the goal today is to do how to do a quick analysis of the deal to see if this is worth pursuing further, right? So for that, we need a couple of things, right? We have the current rent at the property. We also need market rents at the property. So if you look at the unit type, we have 4 different unit types, right? We have studio, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and a 3 bedroom, 2 bath townhome. So that's kind of the 3 types of units that we have at this property. So what I can do is I can create another tab for market rents, and this is just an example, right? And you can say that, yeah, I've done my market rent analysis, and we have the studios are renting about $950 in the area. 1 bedroom, 1 bath units are renting about $1,250. 2 bedroom, 2 baths, the market rent is about $1,400 per month per unit, and townhomes are renting for about $1,800. Right? That data comes from your market analysis, right? So a lot of the time, if you're focused on one area, we kind of know, right? We don't have to go do any research. We know what rents are in that particular area for a certain type of product, right? So, but let's say we did some research and this is what we come up with. So then we go back to the rent roll data. The rent roll is going to come from the seller of the property, right? Or the broker who's listing it. So they will send you the rent roll, and this is typically what's in the rent roll. Sometimes there's more data about security deposit in the pet rent and things like that. But for our purpose, all we really need is what they have given us here with start date, end date, rent, and the status and the unit type, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add another column here. Let's call it market rent. And we'll just do the formatting the same as here. And the market rent is actually in our market rent tab. So I can do a quick vertical lookup. So the formula is VLOOKUP. And I'm searching based on the unit type. And the data that I want to search is here, which we'll select that and do that, which is basically, I'm just telling Excel to search in the market rent tabs and fill that column with everything I need, right? So if I did this correctly, then you can see this first bedroom, well, that's not what I want. I want the market rent, right? So that'll be the second column. All right, so the market rent is $950, right, for that property. So we can do that. So let's do this. So now we have the rent that is $800, and the market rent is $950. So so basically now I can just copy this formula down, and I will have all of the market rents for every property in there, right? So you can see for 1 bedroom, 1 bath, the market rent is $1,250, and the current rent is, for that unit is $1,150, right? So $100 below market. This one is $150 below market, right? Or actually $250 below market. So you can see a variation of the rent. So just like that, we filled in the market rent. So that is all the data we need to analyze the deal. So let's go and create a pivot table. So we will select the data and click on Insert Pivot Table. And we'll just create that pivot table in a new sheet. And let's start with the unit type as the rows in the pivot table. And I want to just get a count. So now you can see easily Excel is very powerful in helping you analyze the data, right? So we can see that, we have 81 bedroom, 1 bath. We have 32 bedroom, 2 bath, 10 3 bedroom, 3 bath, and we have 20 studios. Right? So that's what 140 units total. That's kind of what we have here. Now we want to see how much of this is vacant and how much of this is occupied, right? So we can put a status here, and we can say now we have 124 that is occupied, and we have 16 that are vacant. Right? So that's a quick breakdown of that. If you're putting investor presentations together, you can easily add add a chart here, right? So you just click on, pivot table analysis and then click on pivot chart. And, let's say we add a pie chart here. So that's it, right? So now you have a pie chart that you can add to your presentations as well. So very easy to create those fancy looking charts. And if I don't want to show everything here, let's say I only want to, I don't want to show the status. I just want to show that. I can just remove the status here by dragging and dropping that out. And now you can see that, this chart looks a little bit less busy and a little bit better, right? So that is one way you can do it. So another thing that I like to do is also take a look at, I want to look at my lease end date, right? So I'll add my lease end date as a row. And now I can see that 16 of these are already expired, right? That's why it says, less than January 6th of 2024. Basically, these are all vacant units, right? And then I can easily see that there are 9 that's coming up for renewal in January, and there's 15 that's coming up for renewal in February, right? So I know what I need to deal with, right? I have to take care of these 15 to get them renewed, right? That's what will be a top priority, right? To keep our occupancy at a high level. But it gives you a lot of insights into what's happening at your property with the data that we have once we start summarizing it and analyzing the data, right? So you can look at it like that. And then if you want to break it down by what is really, let's say, we remove the days and we add the unit type here again. So now you can see, if I go down to January, I can see that I have of the 9 that's coming due, 3 of them are 1 bedroom, 3 of them are 2 bedroom, and 3 of them are studios, right? So it's very easy for me to know what type of units that is coming up for renewal, right? And if the vacant ones, then you have to know what the status of the vacant units are, right? Are they already make ready completed? Are they ready to be leased, right? So those are things that you have to stay on top of, right? So to keep your property operating very efficiently. So just wanted to show you a couple of tricks there. But what we really want to do is we'll go back to what I want to do is I'm just going to delete the chart because we can leave that to the side here. What we want to do is we want to look at what is the current rent at the property, right? Which we have the rents here. So let's just add the rents. And basically, that's not what we want. We want to add the rent here into the values. And Excel automatically sums it up, right? And just make sure that it's doing what you're supposed to do here, right? So sum is what we want, right? So we want to look at what is the current rent at the property. And we can easily format this so that it's easily readable. So just click on the format there, or we can do the dollar formatting, and we don't need the decimals. So,
and this is monthly, not annual.
I'm sorry?
This is monthly, not annual?
Correct. This is monthly, correct. That's the data. We have to go back to the rent roll data. The data we have is all monthly. Correct. Yeah, we will take care of the math. So let's go back to the pivot table. So now I also want to add, what else do we have here? We have the market rents, right? That's what we added before. So let's add the market rent. Again, it's sum of market rents. We'll just format it the same way here as well. And so now 179,000 is the market rent. Current rent is 141. So let's do some quick analysis here. So we'll start with potential rental income. We should all be knowing what potential rental income means, or PRI. So that is the maximum a property can generate, right? So basically, it will be this multiplied by 12, right? So that is your number, and we will format it as well. So 2,148,000 is what we have for potential rental income. So I already multiplied that by the 12, right? So it's annual now. And now we have to look at what is the current rent of the property. And that will be equals this one multiplied by 12. And that's $1.6 million. So basically, what is the loss at the property, right? So the potential rental income is the maximum the property can generate. This is what the property is generating now. So what is the loss? The loss is really, let's say the loss is equal this minus that, right? So your loss is $451,000. So let's assume the cap rate, market cap rate for this kind of property is, we'll just put this one as, let's say 6.5%. Right? I don't know what, and depending on your market and the type of property, it will be different, but let's just use, for example, 6.5% as the market cap. So if we were to completely eliminate this loss, right, what will the value be? Oh, how much value are we creating at the property, right? So potential value creation equals, it will be this number, which is the additional value that we are creating at the property, divided by the current cap rate, which is $6.9 million, right? If we were to complete, no property is going to operate at 100%, right? We'll get to that in a minute, right? So the question is, what is actually this number? Let's look at the percentage wise. The 451,000 divided by the potential rental income will tell you what is the current loss at the property, right? So our loss at the property is 21%, is our current loss at the property. So if we were to bring this loss down to 0%, we would create an additional value of $6.95 million. But we know realistically that's not possible, right? We can only, maybe reduce it down to 10% or 8%, right? So we can look at what if, let's say what if, realistic scenario would be, realistic would be more like maybe, we are able to reduce half of this. So let's just assume, divide by 2, right? So we can reduce, the loss by that much. Then the potential value creation for this would be that number divided by the cap rate, right? So $3.4 million. So just by doing this much, I know that this property is worth looking at, right? Because if I'm a value add investor, I know that, I have a potential to increase the value of my property by $3.5 million, maybe more than that, right? If I'm able to do better than, reducing the loss by half, then I can have better potential value. Plus, if the rents are appreciating, there might be other opportunities like adding other income, reducing expenses, or billing back some of the expenses to the tenant. There might be other opportunities to add income as well. But we know by just looking at the rent roll and the market rent that, based on your strategy, that if you're a value add investor, this is worth looking into, right? And in some cases, we'll see something that say, there's nothing much here, right? Because there's no meat on the bone, like we say, right? And move on to the next deal. And we can really do this if you know the market rents. Once you get the current rent roll analysis, we can really do this in 10 minutes, right? And we can say it's worth looking into or it's not worth looking into.